kanti la ufana uqale phansi khona.
Usho kanjani?
No, you study, yes, you grasp the concepts of how to break down the music
Yeah.
and put it together again. The processes of learning the scales, the harmony, you know. So you learn all those things, and eventually, the biggest university is the stage, where now you have to play what you have learned.
No, true. No, I can attest to that.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes, before you say something,
Yeah.
because like you work it out, and you get on stage, it's like, no, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
If anyway you're critical of your playing and listening whilst you're playing. Yeah, you're going to say?
No, I was gonna say I can attest to that. Well, I didn't have a tutor or much of an idea in a saxophone, but one of the things I then brought for was the stage, because we had a lot of corporate gigs then with
Yeah.
the big band.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
I learned a lot.
It's on the job training.
Oh, yes.
As
Yeah.
it were. Same with me. I've never had like a particular teacher. I've had people who've taught me stuff. I'd assume you'd call them my teachers, of course. But I've never had a designated guy who said, okay, this is what. All right. Fortunately, I had done trumpet before, so I transposed that, transferred that information to a saxophone in terms of how to construct major scales, minor scales, and so on. So I'm pretty much self-taught, but there's been guys or brothers who have guided me along the way, showed me this and that. I think the first one really was Thabo Maila. Thabo Maila came from Kimberley. He played alto and tenor. I used to play with the beaters then, before they were Harari.
What was this before you switched to tenor?
Me, I started on tenor.
Oh, okay. No, I mean for when you were playing trumpet.
Well, yeah, I had switched about 2 years before, because I got my first tenor as a gift in September 1973.
Okay.
All right, 1973. But I was practicing on it since 72.
Ah, I see.
So whenever I'm home, 2 streets away, an uncle of mine, Mondehashi, lived there. So when I discovered that he had a tenor, so after finishing my chores at home, I'll dash, I'll dash to him. He showed me the C major scale and the G major scale, and then from there I was able to figure out F major and so on, A major, E major, and so on.
I see.
And I had played the penny whistle before. Penny whistle before. I still remember the first tune I used to play, but I don't remember what it was called. Doodly-doo, doodly-doodly, doodly-doodly-doo, doodly-doo, doodly-doo, doodly-doodly, doodly-doodly-doo, doodly-doo.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, no? Because that was when I think the penny whistle style, Kwela music, was on the wane. The new thing was coming, which was Mkashio, you know, where Boy Masaga came with the altos. You know, most of the guys, they switched from penny whistle to saxophone.
I see.
Yeah, but a lot of the guys, Brabani, stuff, they started on penny whistle.
Yes.
A lot of guys, you know, who grew up around that period.
I see. So would you say you grew up in a musical family?
Not exactly, but I was surrounded by a lot of music. My dad had a serious collection of music, you know, American jazz and the local music from home, you know, Miriam Makeba, Hugh Masekela, you know, and then an uncle of mine as well who would come over sometimes for holidays. He was a serious jazz lover.
Okay.
Then I got to know Stanley Tarrantine, you know, and then later I got to know Charlie Parker, I got to know about John Coltrane. But at that time, you know, but the people who really had a first major influence on me was a guy called Curtis Emmy. I don't know if a lot of people know about him. Curtis Emmy.
Okay.
He had an album called, I don't know, it's called the Blues Messenger or something like that. Yeah, he captured me before even Stanley Tarrantine. Then there was Stanley Tarrantine. Then there was Wilton Felder. When they were still playing straight ahead, before they changed, they dropped the jazz.
I see.
In the Crusaders, you know.
You were playing tenor already this time?
No. Me, I started quite lateish.
Ah.
I started, I mean, I had played in the early 60s, I had played a bit of penny whistle. And then when I was at higher primary, I played the bugle in the Boy Scouts.
I see, okay.
So when I got to high school, I joined Kabim Goma's Ionian Junior Orchestra. Professor Kabim Goma, Smongele Kumalo's father.
Okay.
He had a youth program, so I went through that. I played trumpet, which was a natural progression from bugle, you know, and for me it was Miles, you know, Hugh Masekela, you know.
Yeah.
And, so then around 69, I hit Mankunku. That blew me.
Was it through a record or?
Yeah, first the record.
Okay.
First the record. Then I got to meet him with Makita Basha's son, Utototo.
Okay.
And Tutu Pukwana was in town. And my uncle Monte Hash brought them home to my dad, you know, before we went to the gig. So I went, I was like 15, 16 then. Then it was Tutu Pukwane on alto, Mankunku on tenor, Agrippa Magwaza on bass, Eli Mabuza on drums, and Lionel Pillay from Durban.
Okay.
Lionel on piano. The one who recorded on the original, Yakalingo.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Great piano player.
I've heard some stories.
Yeah.
Eli Mabuza from Brachoni.
Yeah. Panira Chavani and Brachoni Mekwa, they used to play with
Eli Mabuza.
Yeah, Eli Mabuza. So that recording of 64 as well really had an impact on me. Of the Castle Jazz Festival.
So this festival was quite a big thing because I'm seeing it.
Yeah. It was quite big. there was one before where they recorded Chris McGregor and the big band. I don't know whether it was it wasn't called the Brotherhood of Breath then. I think it was the Blue Notes or something. I'm not sure.
I see.
With Nick Moyake playing the cadenza on I remember Billy. Yeah, we played. I remember Billy.
So you met Branik as well?
Who Branik?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I know of him because
Oh,
Duke Makasi never stopped talking about him.
I see.
So Duke, I think he looked up to Nick. Now I've tried to look for Nick's recordings. I only get the sex jive, the Mpakanga things that because he's through both worlds, the bebop and the Mpakanga scene.
No.
So I've got recordings. We'll take a listen to Branik. But with the Blue Notes, when they got to London, I think he decided not to stay. He came back. Mongezi Feza, Dudu Pukwane alto, Nick Moyake on tenor, Chris McGregor, Johnny Jani, Louis Muholo.
I see.
That sextet, whoa, energy. The short clip that I have, it's like a documentary with Bra Louis. Louis is talking, reminiscing about those days. But they were still young, and they lightened up the scene.
Yes,
They lightened up the scene.
So would you say Duke Makasi played a huge role in your development?
Oh, big time. I first met Duke around 75. Yeah, 1975. I just quit school and my heart is in the music, I don't want to do anything else right now except play music. Much to my parents' dismay and disapproval, But I was very headstrong, and then a playwright called Sol Rachilo, Brasol Rachilo. All right, he was a neighbor not far from my parents' place.
Wow.
So Brajuk was in the play, and his horn had gone in for repairs.
Okay.
So Brasol brought him to me to borrow my horn, and it was just fresh from a service.
Yeah.
So I decided to live with them. I carried it. So because I'm looking for a mentor.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I'm looking for a mentor, and prior to that, I had met Mike Mahalimele, who came to do a session for where I was supposed to have played, and I really got the rude awakening, It's I couldn't play. I had no reason to be in the studio in the first place. So
this is 75.
Yeah. So the engineer, the producer says, "Hey man, we're not here to play, man. We come here to record. I'll get Mike Mahalimele, man."
What?
And I was blue, man. And Mike Mahalimele comes, that's how I meet him. He comes the next day, first take, boom. So I carry his horn to his car. "Hey, bro, Mike, man, hey, I'm so-and-so. Oh, I know your dad, yeah, man. Show me some things, man." I never came to be, but I loved him nonetheless.
I see.
Nonetheless. And then I met Duke then.
Okay.
And I spent the whole day with them. They were doing this play. I don't remember what play it was. It was Brasol's play anyway. Man, the sound.
Oof.
The sound.
Yeah.
Brajuk had a great sound. Big tenor sound. And great licks. Great licks.
Yeah.
So I was really inspired from then onwards, Then I met Mankunku later at the Pelican nightclub. This is after my stint with Harare, Peters in Harare, that period when we were changing their name to Harare, yeah. But I didn't stay long. Then I went to a club, Pelican, run by Lucky Michaels. And the club was like a training ground for a lot of people, young musos. It was the only club in Soweto anyway.
Oh, I see.
And I mean, people like Mankunku would rock in, Duke Makasi, Alan Kwela, Papa Mkwena, who also played a big part in my growth, Temba Mkwena,
I see.
Panera Chabane.
Yeah, so
Sometimes.
this was the place.
This was the place. Beg Mselegu, Sipo Gumede, you know. So subsequently, you know, when we formed Sakile, some of the guys came from that group, young musicians who came from that club. Menyazo used to be a bass player when he was playing at the Pelican. But by the time he joined Sakile, he was a guitarist.
Ah.
And then Madota Matunja, the first drummer of Sakile, he is from the Pelican as well. You know, including myself. Sipo Kumete has been through the Pelican. You know, we used to come jam. So I ended up joining the band at the club.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the in-house band. And
what roughly? What kind of styles would you play at the Pelican? Like jazz?
yeah, well, the first set was open to us, so we would take standards, blues, Girl from Ipanema.
I can imagine there were no real books.
No real books,
Yeah.
and we were relying on mostly on the elders who knew the chords. But the other thing that really prompted me to go to study was the guys couldn't tell you what the progression is.
Oh, I see.
Say, landeli sequence, man.
Oh, yeah.
Ulingoma, son.
Yeah.
Awuyizwa le progression. So, but all they meant was, listen, man, it's 2-5-1, that. You know,
man.
it's just they couldn't explain it.
Yeah.
You know, but there were those who were very fortunate with great ears, who would hear it quicker than most. But for the rest of us, we had to work hard to hear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I went back to the, Harare for a short stint again. Wasn't a great stay, but the less said about it, the better, you know. And then I moved on back to the Pelican, and then that's when I decided I need to go to study. And I went to University of Zululand.
Yeah. Now, before you went to the University of Zululand, how was the scene in Joburg in terms of music and gigs? And
There was plenty of music. There were plenty bands.
Okay.
You see, in those days, there used to be bands. Today we have cell phone bands. Are you available? I'll send you the charts. You know, there used to be a band, and then we meet at so and so's place. Usually it was a benefactor, a guy who had some money, would buy the equipment, you know, PA system, drums, keyboards, whatever you wanted, so that, you know, you don't do funny things in the streets, you know, keep you away from the streets, as it were. So there were a lot of brothers like that.
Yeah.
So some groups grew from that, became famous passed through recordings, made a bit of 2 cents, started doing their own shows. Some made money, some made and abused money. You know, the usual story. It's been going on ever since. It's still going on.
I don't know if you've had time to reflect. What makes it? What is the difference between bands then and bands now?
No. I would say in terms of rehearsals, I'll tell you, when I got to Spirits Rejoice, we used to rehearse every Monday to Friday, show or no show, from 10 o'clock till 4:30 in the afternoon, like it's a normal day job.
Wow.
Okay, sometimes Spirits Rejoice was a busy band then.
Okay.
Would have a minimum of 2 gigs a week, 3, 4 gigs sometimes, including festivals and so on, which were paying better than. But we also used to book halls and do our own gigs.
Yourselves.
Yep. Yeah.
And the people would fill up.
Oh yeah. The people would come, pay. We had our own bouncers and so.
Okay. Now in that band was Prajuk Makasi.
Yeah. Well,
did he have the seat first before you?
Yeah. There?
Did he have the seat?
Seat
in that band before you?
Oh yeah. You know, he's the guy who started the band. He was the leader of the band.
So how did you get the call to be with the band?
Okay. Around that time, I had befriended Usipo Gomed, who was with Spirits Rejoice.
Yes.
So when Robbie Jansen left the band, Sipo suggested my name.
I see.
So they had known of me, you know, from the Pelican, you know, or Ezra used to come as well.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, so they had known of me.
Prajuk was your big brother already.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So that was 1980, and we had Thabo Mashishi and George Chefmani on trumpets, then Duke and myself on soprano and tenor.
Okay.
So just swap depending whatever we're doing. You know, flugelhorn, trumpet. Yeah, we used to practice.
Yeah.
You know, so in terms of the band being tied from dynamics, but sometimes I you know, I like to play with young guys and say, but I love your energy, guys, but sometimes it's not controlled. It becomes noise. You know what I mean? It's like maybe you haven't played for 2 months, man, and here's this gig, we're gonna take it out of this one gig.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
the music becomes heavy.
Oh,
You know, it's like a painting where there's just too much clutter. You know, there's no space and
working out all your ideas.
you know. And I sometimes find it very hard to communicate that sense of listening to each other. Because, for instance, I might begin my first chorus maybe lazily. I don't feel like doing 16ths.
Yes.
You know, and maybe I wanna play space. You know, large intervals. Dee, bee, ba, dee, do. Right?
Yeah.
But the way you're pushing me, It's like I'm supposed to be,
Ah,
playing like
yeah,
just that sensitivity,
yeah, listening to each other.
and I played with the one young drummer from Cape Town. I just forget his name, man. And a wonderful piano player. And I said, why? That's why. Because, he is so sensitive, man.
Ish.
So I would play and leave spaces, and he would fill the spaces.
Yeah.
So after the gig, he says to me, it's so nice to play with the timers, man. I say, why? He said, they give you space.
Wow.
They don't close all the spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't. It's because music is a very hard subject. You can't see it, you can feel it, you can hear it, can't touch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that's why it's important to have an interaction with elders as well, so that they can,
Oh yeah,
point out things out to you.
Exactly. There's one young drummer I was just met recently. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
Because of my illness and so on. I used to play loud, man. Every Tuesday I would go to Sorbona. And there is like pop. But I said, because I'm a teacher, I can identify, hey, you, come around, man, you need a special attention,
Yes,
Here's my number,
Mm-hmm.
So he used to play loud drums. And I'm like, hey, you can hear you. You're mic'd.
Yeah, already.
You're mic'd already. So it's here. Soften up here. Don't, so that when you have to be loud, you have room to be loud.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So now from the word go, we start, man, the song is like up there.
Yes.
There's no hills and valleys. Even when you talk, man, you don't know. Your craft goes down, goes up. You get animated and, pensive, thoughtful. You can't be like,
Yeah.
So when he joins another group of guys, they were jamming around a Lifestyle Center.
Okay.
Yeah, and I used to go there and jam with them. And he had listened to me, man. Say, now you're gonna get booked.
That's beautiful.
You're gonna get booked because it's not about the noise. You can hear the drums. When last did you hear like tick, 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 on the cymbal? Just tick, 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 tick. You hear it.
Yeah. Like no, I'm not there yet. Okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that listening component, it can only happen if we discuss during practice, rehearsals, But it's a general thing that musicians should know.
That's why I say it's important to have elders around us, because most of the time we can't really tell each other these things. Some of us become combative.
Yeah.
Like, hey, who are you?
Yeah.
To tell me?
No. Why do you think I play with younger musicians now? Not that because I can bully them. No.
Yeah.
Because some of my age group is the same thing. Some. And when you say something, it's like, now you say I can't play?
No.
I've been playing, man, for so many years. I say, yeah, that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is play soft.
It's not an attack.
It's not a personal attack or anything. But once we can deal with those things that have got nothing to do with the enhancement of the music, I'm sure we can even create more beautiful music, greater music. Already the talent is awesome. The body of work that has come out in recent years is like awesome.
True.
And I sit, I listen, I say, wow, I'm inspired. I want to re-record now some of my old stuff and the new stuff I've been writing. I'm energized because there are people now who hear what we're doing with Sakile. I'm hearing it now, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Not in that locked in a box way that it was like this.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to think myself as a modernist. I respect tradition, but at some time I like to tweak. I like to tweak things and make things musically interesting, either rhythmically, harmonically, or melodically. There are those three options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, speaking about recording Khaya, in '85 you released your debut album, To You, My Dear.
Yes.
And you took quite a while in between until your
yeah. No, I
album.
was focused on the Sakila thing.
I see.
I was focused on the Sakila thing. And also, I was going through a journey in terms of my musical skills, in terms of just composing. That's when Victor had come back, Victor Doni from Berkeley. And I used to spend a lot of time, bothering him in the morning.
Okay.
Hey, brother, Vic, show me this, show me that. Because previously I had brought melodies to the band, and then the songs take another shape because now everybody has got his own input.
Oh, yes.
Which was fine, but I wanted to refine my skills to a point where I bring the whole composition to you, the whole picture to you. So, because I bought my first piano, acoustic piano, in 1985.
Okay.
Right. So I was starting to open up my ears harmonically, because I had realized that I couldn't hear. Or I don't know, because when I teach, I say, if you hear music, are you listening to what you're hearing? Or if you're listening to music, do you hear what you're listening to?
Wow. Okay.
That fine line, because I heard music, but I wasn't listening. I wasn't taught how to listen.
Okay.
Yes, I was listening, but I was not hearing what I was listening to.
I see. Can you teach that? How do you advise someone?
How do you No, I think for me, I still thank Victor Antoni Mhleli for the gift of harmony. I mean, I had studied a bit of harmony at school and so on, but Bravik really unpacked it for me. It started making sense. Even my writing started growing. Started growing, but it was not until I could hear, that 1, 3, and 6, the tonic family of chords, chord 4, 2, sharp 4, half diminished, 2, 7, flat 7 major, and 5, 7 sus. That's all subdominant chords. You know, he grouped them for me because it's like all these chords, but he was able to group them for me. It's like, oh, okay, subdominant minor. Okay, let's take that song. You know, let's analyze the harmony. You see, we're in the key of C major, but now there's an A flat. Where does this A flat come from? You know, like, so, and those things, they help because there's the intuitive level, which is fine, which is great. You can feed off that, but you also need the intellectual process to, once you can match the two, for me, then that gives you even a stronger platform
Yes, yeah.
of hearing
Yeah.
what you're listening to.
Okay, I hear you now.
You know, because if excuse me, let's say you can't tell this is a 12 bar in terms of the form. You can't hear that every 12 bars will start from scratch.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then that means you haven't processed. You haven't heard what you were listening to.
I see. Yeah, okay.
Or when you heard it, you were not listening.
Okay.
It was that's philosophy,
Yeah,
but at the same time, it makes for a beautiful discussion on the question, because you know Brajuk and Mankunkungos, they used to say, can you play what you can't hear? Can you play what you don't know?
Okay.
Those big brothers, if I called a standard and they didn't know the standard, they wouldn't play the standard.
Wow.
And then I'll be fascinated that after 4 or 5 choruses, they come and play.
Okay. Wow.
So they listened and they heard. They heard the progression.
Yeah, that's another level.
You see now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
So as soon as I made that out, I wanted to find out how they know this. So Victor unpacked it for me, Victor Ndon.
So it sounds like he was gracious with his time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, he taught a lot of us.
Wow.
A lot of us.
Now, Prakaya, in the 70s, maybe years before, a lot of cats were leaving for exile. How easy or difficult for you to make a decision to say, I know I'm staying here?
Yeah, me, I wasn't a member of any movement because from young I felt very strong about my independence in terms of my thinking.
Okay.
Being part of a party or being a member of a party, you'd have to toe the political line. And I was too much of a free spirit to accede to that.
Okay.
Because there's certain arguments that were not making sense to me, and I wasn't simply going to agree to them simply because maybe the majority of the people say so.
Okay.
But I felt strong about the unity of Africans because I felt we had more in common than what divides us. because when you are oppressed, you are not oppressed better because you said you didn't want white people in your organization, or you wanted white people, so they treat you with kid gloves. The Boere opfocked everyone.
But just that, it didn't push you to say.
To go?
Yeah.
No. I never had the urge to go.
Okay.
My journey was really, at that point, I wouldn't say I was like on a journey that would take me to outside the country. I was on a self-discovery journey, self-discovery mode, because being the only child and it was not easy for me just to live like that, one. And I was not in a threat to the state. But having said that, we played our part, although we're not blowing our horns about it. We played our part. So we couriered messages when we went to the SADC countries. You know, we helped brothers one way or the other, you know.
You see.
And we didn't want medals for it because it was something that had to be done. You know, it was something that had to be done. But I never felt the urge to leave.
I see. Now, I think another big part in your life was your stint with the late Brahu. Do you remember the first call to come join the band?
Yeah, well, I had met Hugh around 83, 84 Eptwada. We even recorded with him on a project, a science with Ufana Zulu as a bass player, Sakile.
Ah, okay.
When Ufana Zulu had replaced Usipo Gomede.
Okay.
So the album was called New Dawn, I think, something like that. And then we met again in 1991. Was it 1991? Yeah, around there, 1991, 92. We met, we doing some show with Dumantlov, Hugh Masikela, Kifa Simenya, and Jonas Kwang was the main attraction. And we're part of the ensemble. At that time, Sakile was splitting. Things were no longer happening for me and Sipo. And my heart was, you know, I've tried. I've tried, and I just got to file divorce papers. You know, I have tried. So anyway, that was 92, I'm lying, 92. Then beginning of 93, Brahu was going on a tour, February 93.
Okay.
So that was the beginning of my long-term relationship with him. 93, 94, 5, 6, 7. I think I left him around 98, 99. Then I was with him from 2000 to 2008. 2008.
You mean touring with him?
Yeah, just being part of his band.
Okay.
In the meantime, I was also playing with Jonas Gwangwa and Kefas, intermittently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, when listening to those recordings, one can miss the point that you formed a very integral sound when it comes to those records.
Yeah.
One would think that it was your band, both. The way you are so integrated, and the way your sound, your contribution in those records.
No, you see, there was a huge rapport between Obrayu and it came at a very crucial time in my life, because my last few years at Sakile were not happy. To a point I was like close to one day I'm going to knock somebody's jaw. You know what I mean? No, it was getting that bad. So I decided to quit before it got to that, and so I mean, I had invested so much of my life, my time, my energy, with every cell I have in my body for that band, through thick and thin, and not to be satisfied simply because of reasons that have got nothing to do with the music, the thing that brought us together in the first place. It really ate me, and my family was even like, no, you're not happy. We don't like what we see,
Yeah, it was bad.
So then when Hugh said, let's go.
Okay, yeah.
I remember the first few gigs, man, because there was Bagiti Kumal on bass, Tembam Keys, Lawrence Machiza, and then we had another African-American brother, Damon White, Damon Joe White, and then Remy Kabaka, Nigerian percussionist.
Okay.
So these are guys who are into music, into laughter. His sense of humor was terrific. So I just got more weight, I get just from laughing. The first months I was like, and he would say, hey man, play, man. I say, you guys play so nice. I don't know what they were going to play.
Really?
And say, no man, you got to play. But it was fun time. And then once the music started gelling, getting used to it, because he's got those fast 16s, man, and it's tonguing. And with the saxophone, it's not easy. So I had to practice double tonguing.
I can imagine.
Otherwise, I couldn't cope up with just single tongue. I couldn't cope up. And he calls them fast. Bring back Nelson Mandela. What? And then now he's going to exchange solos with you. Yeah, we're gonna trade off now.
Oh man, I must say, sorry. The few I've seen, I love those trades. Yeah.
But when I first joined him, I used to look at him. Then it goes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And then he comes again. I'm not going to. But eventually, I had to start keeping up with him. Started working out, because when he passed on, I was sitting here. I was just out of hospital, because he passed on. I was in hospital. So during that week, they were playing these memorial videos on TV. And I'm watching this concert at the market, and what's that famous song, man? Grazing in the
Oh,
Grass.
yes, yeah.
So I'm listening to myself, and I'm like, yeah, damn, is that me? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just awed because
Oh, yeah.
we had played that music so much
I can imagine. All
over the world,
world,
you know.
yeah.
We had played that music so much, and the chops were like
Yeah.
spot on, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. No, but Khaya.
But it was fun time.
Mm.
Fun time, and also he also played a part in me coming out as producer, arranger type of thing, because
Okay.
it involved me in these concepts that he had.
Ah, okay.
So I'd be a music director, write out the parts.
Oh,
You
so
know.
it wasn't in Komo Idlayot.
No. Brian Hugh had a generous spirit.
Okay.
No. If you think out of the elders, who has taken a lot of musicians abroad more than the others? Who has taken local guys and showed them the world?
I can't think.
Yeah, maybe they do one there.
Yes, yeah.
But Brahu, it goes on a 2-3 month tour.
Yeah.
You know, one time in 2004, we went for an 8-month tour.
What?
Well, with breaks in between, 2 months in the States, 1 week at home, 2 months in Europe, 1 week home, and then 4 months in the States.
I'm guessing you were wise with the money by the time.
Eh?
I'm guessing you were already wise.
Oh yeah, no. Fortunately, I had a wife who was smart, worked in the insurance industry, and put our savings here and there. Yeah, and also, after I came back on the first tour, I was able to buy my first property. Because I was renting there before that. Then I was able to buy my first property. And then by 2004, yeah, I bought this property as well.
Wow, that's proper.
And my children are grown up now. I'm spending my money on getting my health care back.
Yes.
I've been running the stages as it's caught up with me now. All those sleepless nights, long tours, the hangs, and man. But it's a life without regrets. And as long as you plan your things, you plan your money, because before, in my time, my dad used to say to me, "Oh, I want to be a musician in a muse," because it was true. It was true. Musicians didn't make money. I remember the first contract I signed, there was 9 of us in the band, and you know how much percentage the band was getting? 2.5% out of 90%.
To split.
Yeah, just to be heard on radio. And then those things didn't sit nice with me, and started researching this, that. So by the time we recorded with Sakile, excuse me, we didn't give away our copyright.
Oh, okay.
So we had an admin deal, which is a far better deal than the company you sign to and ceding them the rights to your copyright. Why? So we started fighting. Well, almost 2 years we couldn't get a company that was prepared to sign us with that
at that time
clause, yeah. But we finally managed to do. But then nothing really great came out because we're not a pop band per se.
I see.
You see, this is another thing because here the yardstick is like record sales.
Yes.
You know, it's not like the market. There's a market for this. I mean, people are still looking for that music up to now. But where do they find it? They're waiting for us to die. Then they'll release.
Well, were you quite active, busy when
Busy.
you released? Yeah, with Sakile. I mean, like with gigs.
We were gigging, man.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
we were gigging.
Yeah. Were you able to take the band around the country?
Man, I'm saying we were gigging. I'll tell you, we went to most major cities of this country.
Wow.
In the Cape Town, PE, East London, and some of the smaller towns there, Queenstown, and then in the Free State, Welkom, Bloemfontein, you know, Virginia, Kronstadt.
What?
You go to Springs, Wheatbank, then Emalahleni,
Okay.
Middleburg, you go to Palabora, go to Polokwane, Petersburg those years, Mukopane, which was Port Petersburg.
Okay.
Yeah, Pipiras.
In all
So
these
we
places,
performed,
people
and-
knew of Sakile.
Yes, Mozambique,
Mm.
Zimbabwe, Swaziland, Namibia.
Wow, those the places you're mentioning. I can't imagine now someone saying.
Yeah, no.
Polokwane besides a big
Yeah.
festival.
No, we traveled. I think I still have my old passports just for, history's sake,
Yeah.
where I've been and so on.
Sounds like people were more hungry for the music then.
Listen,
What?
much as the apartheid system was what it was, but there was a lot of work for the arts. There was, I don't know, maybe people had a lot to write about the apartheid system. So now that the apartheid is over, the writers, what are they writing about? You see, that's social commentary.
Yeah.
What are they writing about now? We're free. Because there was that age then for the hunger for freedom. To express it from the depths of your soul. To say, hey, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Because as mirrors of societies, artists have a responsible role in terms of educating or maybe reflecting back to the society, their very existence. It can't be all honky-dory when it's not. I have no problem with certain genres or different genres of music, but I have a problem if my grandchild is not going to be inspired by your lyric. You know what I mean? I have no problem because I grew up in pop bands anyway.
Yes.
But at least the guys were writing lyrics.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the pen had some ink.
Yeah, the brothers were writing some lyrics. Because he said, Mama ngasibongile. Awuyeke ukuthi mawusuphuzile bese uyangiphoxa. You know?
Yeah, it's a message.
Yeah, or maybe it's a love thing, wenziwa yini uma ngibona ngihamba nontombi futhi bese ukhuluma amaganyana.
Yes. Yeah.
hlukana nami wawuthi awungifuni hlukana nami
Yeah.
hlukana nami yabo
Yeah, some content.
yabona there's some content whether it's a love story and it does not have to be cerebral and highly philosophic,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
Hey wena mfana musukhuthuza kuthi babsimlangeni lezo zalukwazi, which is relevant up to now. But you don't hear that music on the radio. Or do you hear John Vuligate? I'm not being personal about it, you know, but John Vuligate is Doors Corner, and it's like, wow. Now, is this now the epitome of our artistry? Or it's just, well, I shouldn't be even, you know, bothered because it's all about money. It's all about the bottom line, really.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But ngempela, when our languages are so rich in ngezaka. Thatha ingoma kaKhifas. Ziphi inkomo zamalobola. Thandiwe, what ziphi inkomo zakho, ziphi inkomo? Angifuni ukukipita nawe. Yebo, everything amasiko esintu. You know that you can write. Umapo. Some last coffee?
Please.
Yeah, I'll be the Saban's done.
Now to close
This coffee, and then mina ungithela amanzi abilayo kule green tea. To close, Baba.
Now to close this off, Khaya, you have given us so much, musically speaking, and you continue to, and you've went another way now to contribute, which is mentoring young musicians, opening up your space to the young ones.
Yeah.
Where does that need arise from, or the passion?
That passion was born out of, you know, during the apartheid era, we used to have this motto that each one teach one, Bafana.
Okay.
So through the next person who gains whatever, you pass it on to the other, and the other will pass it on to the other, and so on, so that the more of us who are knowledgeable, the better understanding, I think, amongst us we can have. We'll always differ, but then the philosophy also should be, I stand by what I say today, even though I might change it tomorrow when I have seen or know better. You see?
Yeah.
But I have seen better in the sense that if you are able to ignite a spark in someone's life to cause the necessary effect, the necessary change in someone's perspective in life or about life or of himself, then it's a great contribution I can do to that person. Without blowing my trumpet, I'm not going to talk much about some of the older guys that have gone through my who I passed on information. But you know, Frank Paco, I gave him his first theory lessons.
Wow.
When he got to UCT, he was able to get to UCT on the basis of the theory I'd given him.
Okay, so it's not.
No, Kulana.
Yeah.
Fair, Zim, I'd write out scales for them, whatever they had problems with. They used to come to the hotel, and Juke Makazi would say, okay. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
so they'd come to me and I would share, because my other thing is that you cannot be informed alone. You know, But I am informed.
Hey, you're gonna end up
When you
under-
share it, that's when people know that you're informed. When you don't, people don't know.
I'm gonna steal that. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know that you're informed.
Yeah. No.
So then, I've helped a lot of youngsters who'd come. Maybe some used to come for their demos in my little studio. Then I would see something in them. Hey son, how do you listen to music at home? No, I just have a radio. So you don't have even a cassette player? No. But you play the song just listening to the radio and you come and play it. There's something man, about you, man. Come.
Yeah.
And show them stuff, you know. So around 90, there was this young boy who used to come to my house diligently. Every day without fail. Even when I had rehearsals or gigs, I would leave him some money for food, buy bread. My helper would give him access to my piano, make tea for him or coffee,
Yeah.
And that guy, the students from Wits, and they would say, hey, but Jetro, man, the voicings, man, and so on and so on. I said, no, you can learn this stuff too. When you're done with university, you can come down and learn this stuff.
Yeah.
Because they were doing classical music. There was no jazz program at Vets then. It's only starting now. It's only starting now, really.
Have they invited you in any of these institutions?
If it's, from 2019.
Oh, okay.
2019, yeah. And last year, because I got very sick, I didn't. Usisong took my place. Then this year, I'm back at it again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but in Salusa Limpilo, Salusa Limpilo. But I'll be fine. I'm a fighter, man.
Yeah.
I'm a fighter. I read up. I take when I garlic because
Drinking it.
Yeah, ngifaka nasedlini, ngifaka mangibheka but hayi eat garlic because it helps my platelets lawa.
Kuningi story.
So nelento lena ngifaka ngishaya turmeric.
Oh, okay.
Turmeric,
Yeah.
A teaspoon ekuseni nje drink the cayenne pepper.
Okay. Bengikhuluma no-Bra Angela the other day, and he was talking about Majuba, Bakanga, Khwela. What is the difference? It wasn't. I never got to ask him.
Amajuba, Khwela.
Bakanga. Is there a difference, or it's just different names for the same?
It's like, let's take rock and roll and blues.
Okay.
Bega. Ikwela would be do 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 be do 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 di do di do do di do di do da bo da do do be do do ba do di do di do be do di do do. Guys, same chords.
Yeah.
Guys, do be do tira go puda pida bido pudo bom pudo tira kude kedo go pupira bado pum go kodon go kudon pida pude tung go that was pupudi bipude pom pom bo de we pom bom bom gong gong go tu kariga king. So it started to have that bounce as opposed to a swing feel.
Okay, yeah.
So yayithola la mehluko ke. Amajuba now it's ilapho bomarabi. Because for me it's just let's get because sometimes labona lamagama.
Yeah.
the practitioners themselves, they don't
Oh,
call
they didn't come up with this name.
probably.
Coffee none.
Ngithelelela amanzi abilile la. Uzizwa njani? Uzodaka wena. Uzodaka.
White and coffee or
Please don't play that.
Uzodaka.
Yeah, just one sugar.
He's sweet enough.
Yeah.
2 teaspoons of coffee.
Say that?
Coffee I could feel strong or one.
Strong, please.
It's amachuba. Utein, did he give you an example?
No, it was a passing conversation. I never got to really ask in depth about it. So these names came up with the record companies or what?
Yeah, was sex jive,
Mm.
accordion jive.
Ooh.
So accordion jive. Let me look for. Is that recording?
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fine. Leave it.
Mm.
Leave it. It will form part of the. Eish. Connected. So why are you not? Machuba Zulu drummers and dancers. Machuba Zulu drummers and dancers for wedding founded by members of Ipindombi. You see now, I'm trying to research this. Perform traditional South African and Zulu dances with Fulamans.
Yeah.
That one time.
Yeah. Wambona ugatsha.
Zulu drummers and dancers for Khaya Mahlangu. I think kunumuntu engibona ngathi ngiyamazi. Ayinayo ifumo.
Is this on internet?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So, but this is the name of the group.
Oh, name of the group.
So I'm trying to look for the genre. Amachuba District, Zulu Music 2020.
Okay.
Zulu Music 2020.
Yeah, you're not making it up. Okay, it's the modern stuff.